Hello, this is PG. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Disc Golf City on Steam. It's also available on Android and Mac. Disc Golf City is a casual single-player sports game developed by Agapo Games. So what is the game like to play? Well, it's a pretty basic experience at heart. You have one button to manage the power gauge and another to change the angle or trajectory. To the left of the screen you have an aerial map so you can judge your throw, and that is pretty much it. So when you're playing on the 8 courses available, you're required to throw your disc into this hole, all while avoiding hazards like trees, buildings and moving vehicles. There is a tutorial course and a practice mode as well, but the game, I'd say it's pretty straightforward stuff. It doesn't take more than like a couple of minutes to figure out what's going on. And also the 8 courses, they're not that long, you can play through pretty much all of them in an hour or, in a 2 or 3 hour period. I'd say the courses on the whole are well designed, often requiring you to kind of plan each throw as it becomes more challenging. You also have to factor in things like the wind effect, as you're essentially throwing a frisbee and it can drift quite a distance if you're throwing it high in the air and the wind is pretty strong. So yeah, it's pretty simple stuff. I would say it feels more like an Android phone game, than a game that you would play on a PC. But still simple, enjoyable, quite satisfying when you get it right as well. The game, as I said, is offline solo only. I would say it could do with a 2-player option or like online competitive modes against other players. I know there is a leaderboard, but I think it needs a bit of multiplayer or maybe some sort of speed golf variation, because at present it's quite light on content, even though the gameplay itself is quite enjoyable. Visually, I did experience a bit of image tearing, which was a little bit off-putting, and there wasn't anything in the kind of graphical menus to fix that. Saying that, the menus, they're well presented, they're clean, they're clear, everything's very easy to read. The sound, a little bit bare bones. There's some light sort of elevator type music, minimal effects, but the audio is quite very much something that will pass you by. Anyway, what is the verdict? Disc Golf City is a simple sports game that can be played without too much thought. From the simple 2-button controls to the straightforward solo gameplay, it does what you'd expect, perhaps though it's a little bit light on the content side for the price. And I'd say if they add local or even online multiplayer, then I would say this is definitely something I would recommend. At present, I'd say it's slightly shy of a recommendation for the price. Unless you see it on the sale, I think then it's probably worth a punt. And if you like a bit of golf or a little bit of frisbee and stuff like that, and you want something that's a little bit light and not too taxing, very much something to have a look at. In terms of scoring, I'd say, it's somewhere between a 6 and a 7. I'd say probably a 6 at the moment because it needs a little bit more work, it needs a little bit more content, some visual improvements, some online maybe, and some 2-player competitions modes, something like that. But yeah, 6 out of 10 for Disc Golf City. Probably will go up to a 7 once they add a few bits and bobs. Anyway, that's the review. Thank you for watching. This is PG signing off. Cheers.